Think you're doing the standing quad stretch correctly? You might actually be making one of the most common stretching mistakes without even realizing it. Most people assume that if they can grab their foot and pull it toward their glutes, they're stretching their quadriceps effectively. But here's the surprising truth. Many people perform this stretch every single day while barely stretching the target muscle at all. Even worse, some unknowingly place unnecessary stress on their lower back, hips, and knees. So before you do another standing quad stretch, ask yourself this. When you pull your foot behind you, where do you actually feel the stretch? If you feel it mostly in your lower back, your knee, or you barely feel anything at all, then you're going to want to stick around because today, you'll learn exactly how to perform this exercise the right way. More importantly, you'll discover one small adjustment that instantly makes this stretch more effective. And it's something most people never think about. Let's start with the biggest mistakes because understanding what not to do is often the fastest way to improve. One of the most common errors is arching the lower back. If you've ever watched people perform a standing quad stretch, you've probably seen this. They grab their foot, pull it back aggressively, and their lower back arches dramatically. It looks like they're getting a deeper stretch, but in reality, they're often reducing the effectiveness of the movement. Another mistake is pulling the foot backward with excessive force. Many people believe that the harder they pull, the better the stretch will be. Unfortunately, the body doesn't work that way. When you force a stretch too aggressively, your muscles often react by tightening up as a protective mechanism. Instead of relaxing and lengthening, they become more resistant. A third mistake is allowing the knee of the stretching leg to drift outward. This usually happens because it feels easier, but easier isn't always better. When the knee flares out, the stretch becomes less focused and less effective. Finally, many people struggle with balance. They spend the entire stretch hopping around, wobbling, and fighting to stay upright. When your brain is focused on preventing a fall, it's much harder for your muscles to relax into the stretch. Now here's something interesting. Most people think the secret to this exercise is what the foot is doing. They focus entirely on grabbing the foot and pulling harder. But the foot isn't actually the most important part of the stretch. The real secret lies somewhere else. It lies in your pelvis. Understanding this concept is what separates an average stretch from a highly effective one. But before we reveal exactly how to use that knowledge, we need to build a proper foundation. Start by standing tall with your feet roughly hip-width apart. Before you even think about lifting your foot, take a moment to assess your posture. Are your shoulders rounded forward? Is your head sticking out in front of your body? Are you leaning heavily onto one side? Good stretching begins with good positioning. Imagine a straight line running from your ears through your shoulders, down through your hips and into your ankles. You want your body stacked and balanced. This creates the stable foundation necessary for everything that follows. Once you're standing tall, shift your weight onto one leg. If balance is challenging, don't hesitate to place one hand on a wall, chair, or countertop. Some people think using support is cheating, but that's simply not true. In fact, using support often allows you to focus more on the quality of the stretch instead of worrying about staying upright. The goal isn't to prove how good your balance is. The goal is to stretch your quadriceps effectively. Next, bend the opposite knee and bring your heel toward your glutes. Reach back and grab your ankle if possible. If reaching your ankle is difficult, you can hold your shoe or even your pant leg. At this point, many people believe they've completed the setup and all that's left is to pull harder. But this is actually where the most important part begins. Remember when I said the pelvis was the real secret? Here's your first major breakthrough. Instead of immediately pulling your foot closer, gently squeeze the glute of the stretching leg. That's it. A simple glute squeeze. This small action helps position the pelvis more effectively and prevents excessive arching in the lower back. Almost instantly, many people notice a stronger stretch through the front of the thigh. The exercise hasn't changed. The body hasn't changed. The only thing that changed was positioning. Think of your pelvis like the foundation of a skyscraper. If the foundation is tilted, everything built on top of it is affected. The same thing happens in your body. When the pelvis is out of position, the stretch doesn't target the quadriceps as effectively. But when the pelvis is controlled and aligned, the quadriceps can lengthen much more efficiently. This is why such a small adjustment can create such a dramatic difference in how the stretch feels. Now let's refine the position further. Keep your knees relatively close together, rather than allowing the stretching knee to flare out to the side. This doesn't mean forcing them together aggressively, but they should stay aligned. Maintaining this alignment helps direct the stretch through the front of the thigh where you want it. At this stage, you should begin to feel a comfortable pulling sensation through the quadriceps. Notice the word comfortable. Stretching should create tension, not pain. If you experience sharp discomfort, especially around the knee, that's a signal to reduce intensity and reassess your positioning. Another crucial element that many people overlook is breathing. Have you ever noticed that when a stretch feels intense, your first instinct is often to hold your breath? It's incredibly common. The problem is that holding your breath creates unnecessary tension throughout the body. Instead, take a slow breath in through your nose and then exhale gently. As you breathe out, allow your muscles to relax. Don't force yourself deeper into the stretch. Simply let relaxation happen naturally. Breathing acts like a signal to your nervous system that it's safe to let go of tension. Often a good exhale will improve the stretch more than pulling harder ever could. Now let's talk about time. One of the biggest mistakes people make is rushing through stretches. They hold the position for a few seconds, switch sides, and move on. Mobility improvements rarely happen that quickly. The body needs time to adapt. Instead of treating stretching like a race, focus on quality. Stay in the position, maintain good posture, keep breathing, and allow the stretch to develop gradually. The goal isn't to survive the stretch. The goal is to become comfortable and controlled within it. At this point, it's useful to compare incorrect form with correct form. Incorrect form usually involves a heavily arched lower back, an unstable posture, a knee that drifts outward, aggressive pulling, and breath holding. Everything feels forced and awkward. Correct form, on the other hand, looks controlled and relaxed. The body remains tall. The glutes are lightly engaged. The pelvis stays stable. The knees remain aligned. Breathing is smooth and natural. The difference may seem subtle from the outside, but the difference in effectiveness is enormous. Here's another important concept that many people never learn. The quadriceps are not just knee muscles. One of the 4 quadriceps muscles, called the rectus femoris, crosses both the knee joint and the hip joint. That means your hip position has a huge influence on how effective this stretch feels. If you spend long hours sitting during the day, the front of your hips may become tight. When you perform the standing quad stretch correctly, you're not only addressing the front of the thigh but also helping improve mobility through the front of the hip. This is one reason why the exercise feels dramatically different when performed with proper technique. As we move into more advanced refinements, start thinking about growing taller throughout the stretch. Imagine a string attached to the top of your head gently pulling you upward. This cue encourages length through the spine and prevents the body from collapsing into poor posture. Effective stretching isn't about slouching or sinking into a position. It's about creating controlled length throughout the body while maintaining alignment. Another powerful improvement is adding a small amount of core engagement. This doesn't mean bracing your abs as hard as possible. Instead, think about gently tightening your midsection as though someone might lightly poke your stomach. This subtle activation helps stabilize your pelvis and maintain the alignment needed for an effective stretch. Notice a pattern here. None of these improvements involve pulling harder. Almost every improvement comes from positioning better. Now let's explore an advanced technique. Once you've mastered the basics, try gently driving the hip of the stretching leg forward while maintaining glute engagement and a stable pelvis. This can increase the stretch through both the quadriceps and the hip flexors. However, this movement must be controlled. If you simply thrust the hips forward and arch your lower back, you've lost the benefit. Control always comes before range of motion. That's a principle worth remembering, not just for this stretch, but for every exercise you perform. A useful way to think about mobility is this. Mobility isn't defined by how far you can move. It's defined by how far you can move while remaining in control. Anyone can force a position temporarily. True mobility is being able to own that position confidently and comfortably. That's what creates long-term improvement. Athletes provide a great example of this principle. Runners, cyclists, soccer players, basketball players, and gym enthusiasts often develop tightness in the front of the thighs and hips. Many stretch regularly but see limited results because they focus entirely on intensity. They pull harder, stretch deeper, and chase discomfort. Meanwhile, someone who prioritizes alignment, breathing, control, and consistency often achieves better results despite using less force. Quality beats intensity almost every time. Imagine 2 people performing the standing quad stretch. One person yanks their foot aggressively, wobbles around, and holds their breath. The other stands tall, engages their glutes, keeps their pelvis stable, breathes calmly, and maintains perfect alignment. Which person do you think is more likely to improve flexibility and mobility over time? The answer is almost always the second person. Consistent quality produces consistent progress. Let's put everything together one final time. Stand tall with good posture. Shift your weight onto one leg and use support if needed. Bring your heel toward your glutes and hold your ankle. Keep your knees aligned. Gently squeeze your glutes. Lightly engage your core. Avoid excessive arching through the lower back. Breathe slowly and naturally. Stay tall and balanced. Allow the stretch to develop without forcing it. That's the standing quad stretch performed correctly. Now here's your challenge. As soon as this video ends, perform the standing quad stretch using every cue you've learned today. Focus on posture, glute engagement, knee alignment, breathing, and control. Then compare it to the way you used to perform the stretch. Chances are you'll immediately notice a stronger, cleaner, and more focused stretch through the front of your thigh. That's the power of proper technique. Remember, flexibility isn't about forcing your body into extreme positions. It's about moving better, feeling better, and gradually improving over time. Every small improvement in technique compounds. Stay patient, stay consistent, and trust the process. Master the basics, focus on quality over intensity, and you'll be amazed at how much progress you can make. Keep practicing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.